The DC Storyverse originally contained just two things: nothing, total absence, a place that isn't qualified as a place, but the literal absence of all things, all concept, locations, energy, time, and so on. This realm is called the overvoid, and the second thing is called the orrery of worlds. It's all things, everything that ever was, is, or that ever will be. The authors call it existence in the interviews and the guidebook, and they explain that it was based on a mix of some religious ideas that share the same values from the Jewish Kabbalah, Vedic Hinduism, and a viewpoint called voidism, and also based on tarot cards hierarchy. The void is nothing, and inside of the nothing looms a smudge, a tiny piece of bacteria called existence. Somehow the void enters its own waking cycle and develops its own sentience, and it calls itself the monitor mind, and it immediately noticed a speck of something on itself. The speck was put there without its permission, and the void of the monitor mind is very upset by this. The speck is everything that ever was, is, or that ever will be. This definition was provided by the editors already, and it represents all story, all plot, all data, not just the history of this existence, and not just all that's going on right now, but all that ever will into the endless future. Every character or plot, revision, every weapon, every anything that will ever be written or ever could be or that ever cannot be written are all represented by this smudge. This smudge is toxic and it's infecting the monitor mind, who is naive and doesn't understand virtually anything at all. Dualities begin to flood the monitor mind with stress, worries, and questions, and to prevent further contamination, this smudge is locked and sealed in a metaphoric bottle. The bottle's name is the Orrery of Worlds, and within it is all things. After this, the monitor mind enters its unwaking state cycle once more and reverts back to non-being. But there are remnants of that interaction left over from this event. A silent sentinel is forged, and it stands guard over the bottle and all within it. Its development and existence have been a complete mystery to the monitor mind. It floats in front of the bottle of existence until a metaphorical world condenses out of the void and around the bottle, allowing the sentinel a platform to stand upon and a ground of being. These values are directly taken from the Kabbalistic religion, where what is called the Ein Sof becomes an emergent quality of the void and comes to rest upon a circular platform. The Ein Sof in this religious view is the idea of all things and all of existence, a mirror viewpoint of this sentinel figure, which also represents the same thing. I'm also apparently the first person in the world to spot that if you shift this image on its side, this image of all things, which in the comic is represented as a tree and House of Life diagram from the Jewish Kabbalah, you can see that CAS is drawn and hidden in this visual illustration, and CAS stands for Cosmic Ein Sof, as well as Cosmic Armor Superman, which is the name that represents this in the comics. To us, we see a smudge, an impossible to understand collection of realms, worlds, and stories and characters. To the overvoid, the monitor mind, who again is very naive and new to the idea of anything at all. Existence is just a story, all stories, and it was all stories that had infected the overvoid and caused it to be bottled. During this period, the void removes the infected portion of itself, the corrupted values of itself, and turns this into a separate character named Dax Novu, the first monitor. Dax is then tasked with further investigation of this flaw, this bacteria of all things, and it's sent inward to detail and map it even more. After Dax completes some of his mission tasks and seemingly reports back to the void then bottles it permanently and locks the flaw in that jar. The bottle represents imprisonment and containment, as the comic explains that this was the idea of story that infected the monitor mind, the void, with narratives and pestilential crawling narratives. So the void embodies story as an infectious disease of bacteria that it had to bottle. The bottle is the prison guard, and while we see it as a jar, and we as humans and mortals would naturally envision the bottling of existence as a metaphoric jar of sorts, the overvoid embodies the prison walls as a guardian, a silent sentinel that continues to infect the overvoid. The last remnant of the Void's interaction with the flaw of the bacteria, of all things, seems to have spawned a visage of a protector of sorts. We don't know its function, or its reason for being there until much later, as it looms in front of the bottle of existence for an eternity, until the Void condenses a metaphoric world around it called nil. In the religious views all of this is based on, there's an idea called emergent qualities. This means that for no reason and without cause, something becometh. Existence is not a creation of anyone or anything, and in this context of the word, we're not talking about the universe or the multiverse where we live, something God or angels created with intent. The word existence means all things, the very idea of idea and possibility. All the energies of possibility popped into existence without cause or reason. In science and religion, that cause of something existing is not important or relevant. It simply came to be with no hand creating it, no need for a creator to create it. Due to there being no rules and no ideas to prevent existence itself from coming to exist, existence is completely unrestricted from actually coming into being without a reason or a creator. All things, all the is, as the author and the comics call it, represents every idea, every story, all data, all that ever was, is, or that ever will be. That's the bacteria smudge that the Void noticed and felt infected by. We learn later through a character named Captain Allen that during the events of Final Crisis, that existence factor, the multiverse, has no creator and indeed is emergent. It needs no reason to exist, it simply does. Similar to Dax Novu, the first monitor who begat his tasks and job function alone, now there are even more monitors just like him, although far less grand in stature and meaningfulness. Dax Novu takes one of the female monitors as his wife, and they have a son named Nix Wotan. From here, monitors help Dax map and investigate the flaw of existence even more and oversee it, and come to protect the borders of all the universes from contaminating each other. Dax Novu feels his own corruption reaching peak levels due to overexposure of this flaw, this jar of existence. He seals himself in a box to fight his own darkness in an attempt to save everyone from himself, and the Monitor Council comes up with a false doctrine that Dax Novu died to save everyone, giving his life to fight the beast in the darkness. While metaphorically valid, that event was a lie. Dax Novu was becoming the beast of legend to the monitors and lost his battle against his own darkness. The persona of Dax was lost forever, replaced by Mandrak, the Dark Monitor. During the events of Final Crisis, one of these monitors delves into the flaw to retrieve Superman to help combat the Dark Monitor that is looming on the horizon, about to return and consume all things back to nothingness. Superman and his counterpart Ultraman are a duality ignition sequence for this cosmic armor and is required to activate it. The story of Superman, essentially the giant push to start button on the armor, and Superman begins to pilot this suit in an attempt to combat Mandrak. They battle, and to summarize, Mandrak is ushered off the edge of the world of Nil, back home to the Void. The armor powers down and writes on its own tombstone, "To be continued," and monitors ask Superman what should the future hold for everything, and how should monitors react to this situation. Superman replies, "Let them be and leave them alone." After this, Superman is ejected out of the armor and back into the storyverse that he originated from, and Nix Wotan arrives at the end of Final Crisis to help finish off the last remnant of Mandrak, which was consumed by Mandrak's brother, Rox Ogama, another monitor. Nix Wotan and a team of Superman variants, the Green Lanterns, and a collage of other characters, including ones that don't even exist yet, that Nix Wotan called from the future, an unwritten era of the DCU, defeat Rox Ogama and revoke the last sliver of Mandrak once and for all.